What's up, boys?
Hey,
What
Wednesday
up?
night, man. Tommy Sheahood,
as usual.
my guy. Richie Santiago, my guy. It's been a while, man.
It's been a while.
long
I haven't been in the
time,
ring.
bro.
You made some changes, new mics. Got the mic arms.
Yeah.
Pros in here.
Looking like you know what you're doing.
I look like I know what
Good
I'm
at faking.
doing. I don't know what I'm doing. But, man, welcome, bro. It's been a while.
Yeah, man. It's awesome.
You went in here when I had that little desk behind
Oh,
you, and we
God.
were going live on my phone, man.
Long
that was
time
like
ago.
5, 6 years ago.
Jesus.
Yeah. I remember when you first got this place.
Original G right there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Fucking A.
A bunch of these Triforce guys are definitely that. That's how I saw you and saw some of these clips. And when I saw what you were doing, I went and looked and I saw these guys there. So
I picked fucking this dude right out of a hat.
I was going to
almost
say.
a year.
Next thing you know, I'm rolling with this guy in the gym, and now he's your co-star. I love it.
You guys rolled tonight.
We did.
Yeah, we did.
Tommy put up a big picture. A lot of you guys at Triforce tonight.
We got a big fam in there.
Always.
A lot of fucking hungry killers. That's why my neck hurts right now.
A lot of white belts in there.
Yeah. They split them up and,
Yeah, we have so many people. We have to split it up. We do half is white belt class, and then the other half is blue and up.
See, I like that.
Yeah.
Like, because me going in as a newbie, sometimes you get thrown
Yeah,
in there with the newer guy, the more veteran guys that, they might hurt you.
And not every class does that. Only the bigger ones at night, like Saturday mornings are mixed. So therefore, upper belts can get some good fundamentals that they have maybe been neglecting for a little while since we're on the other side,
Nice. Yeah, looked like there was like 50 of
Probably.
you people
Had
in
to
there
have been,
tonight.
yeah.
Yep.
And that's a normal night.
Wednesday night, yep.
Triforce doing great, man. And tonight is actually spar night also,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That happens after jiu-jitsu?
Right, yeah, 6:45ish. So you start to people come in and out, and then around 7 o'clock we start sparring, and then William Sukumtoth teaches Muay Lao on the other
Yeah,
side.
right on the other side.
Yep.
I remember that. That's cool.
That's when I get the fuck out of there.
Usually I hang around.
Don't want to mix up any
They start
striking in there.
putting the gloves on. I'm like,
Usually I hang around, but I decided to come hang out with you guys.
And then TFW is going on.
oh,
on the
TFW's
other-
doing their thing
on the other
all
side.
night.
It's a
cranking.
busy
Yeah.
fucking night
Oh,
there,
it's
man.
nuts.
yeah, no. Once you walk up the stairs, it's time.
Oh yeah, if you factor in TFW, I mean it's insane.
Yeah.
There's so many.
But you guys
people.
expanded. Did you guys expand that place, or are you going to expand?
Going to, yeah, very
Same
soon.
spot, just breaking down walls.
Same building. No, we're moving into a bigger unit.
Oh, that's a big project right
Yep.
there. No,
Yeah. So it's gonna be interesting.
nice.
I haven't seen it yet. Have you seen
I
it?
have not been in the room yet.
I want to see it.
In the room?
Yeah.
I heard
Like that.
from what I've heard, it's like twice as big.
Yeah, better stuff. More offices, kind of more central front desk area.
Nice.
We'll see.
They got a shower, a bigger
Probably.
shower.
Yeah, probably.
Hopefully, yeah.
We could all jump in there together.
Yeah,
That's
you
what
want to
I'm
do
saying.
that? Go ahead, my man.
You're the one asking.
Fucking well.
What about showers over there?
I'm not showering with all you guys.
Maybe I'll sign back up.
I'm not wrestling in 10th grade anymore.
No, it's not gym class anymore.
You know what I mean? Well, Richie, man, I haven't seen you in a while in here, and then I haven't seen you a while at Cage Titans because I haven't been to a show
Yeah.
in forever. And what a show I returned to Saturday night, man. That was fucking fabulous, dude. So many changes going on. Every show, there's something different. You had Hillary Rose doing some commentary with you this time. I actually thought that was Maddie. And then I saw, and because, just see the blonde hair. And then I'm seeing her in the crowd doing interviews. I said, what's this girl, just ping pong, bouncing around? But then I looked at some of the Cage Titans Instagram, and I saw that Hillary was announcing some stuff with you guys. But how'd that go?
It was good. Yeah, we had it was me, Andy, and Hillary. Me and Andy are kind of like the mainstays. We stay in there. Andy's the lead guy, of course, and he does the announcing too. But I try to level it out, and then we always try to spice it up with a guest. This time we did Hillary. It was she had done it once before, but I think she only did half a card, if I'm not mistaken. So we were like, hey, let's bring her back in and do a full card, and she did great. It was fun. It was a good night, and the fights were great. So that makes it easy.
Nice. Better than a little less stressful than a double header that you had the previous card.
I wasn't there for that one.
Oh, no.
But I the first doubleheader we did, I was there.
Yeah.
And I just remember what a nightmare it was. So I was kind of glad I missed it. Not gonna
busy.
lie.
I'm busy.
Yeah, it's a
I
full day.
I was in Mexico.
Oh, were
drinking
you?
margaritas.
Oh,
So
yeah, fucking great.
I was like, hey, you guys can keep that.
Nice. You're doing some DJing also on the side now. or
Yeah, that's
is
a
it-
big thing right now
Yes.
for me.
Is that something you were doing before? Earlier in your life here? Some
Yeah.
DJing?
I want to say I started doing it like 2016.
Okay.
So I've been doing it for a few years. I just something I always wanted to do. Got into it, taught myself, got good at it.
Music lover.
Yeah, music lover. I love going out to parties and stuff. And then I started made some friends with some real DJs and started. I would say I started taking it really seriously the past 2.5 years or so, and just getting real gigs. And now it's to the point where this whole June I'm booked Friday, Saturday, every weekend. Like it's like
Congratulations.
I started
That's
it.
good stuff.
Yeah,
man.
I started it as like a side hustle, like hobby thing, and now it's like, wow, this is a legit.
I'm gonna
Like
do taxes
this
on
is
this
like
now.
a second job. Like this is crazy.
Try to make it your first job.
So as far as equipment and stuff, you just kind of gathered it up on your way, getting new it, or
Yeah.
you buy it all at once.
Yeah,
like recently.
Like you said, like gathered it up
Yeah.
on my way. Just like, kind of hand me down stuff.
Yeah.
And like, between like getting, the consoles and the speakers and all that stuff, I kind of collected it as I went. Now I'm to the point where, I've got, 2 brand new speakers, a
Everything's-
sub,
yeah.
got everything, the mics and
Upgrading
everything.
every time.
Yeah,
if you
exactly.
Need to. Nice.
Probably need another upgrade soon.
Is,
but
is
yeah.
it it just you? You have a kind of helper that helps you out? You
No, I'm just-
carry everything in, you do everything all night,
Just
and then
me
that's
and
it.
Lolo. That's
No
my
shit.
girlfriend.
Well,
She
she's
helps
cool.
me.
She's like
Yeah.
she's kind of
like your
the
intern?
crowd. She helps out a lot of
Pretty
stuff.
much. Yeah, she's always with me.
Brings you
so.
a beer or a drink
Yeah,
when you need
exactly.
one. You need
Yeah.
someone like that to
Unpaid
help you
labor.
out.
Yeah, exactly. So she's always with me, helping me. So it's always good.
Nice.
Very cool.
So let's get back to Cage Titans, bro.
Yeah.
Just for information, Mike Polvier may call in at around 8:25, 8:30.
Thanks for the warning.
Yeah. He'll be talking all night, so we got to get in as much as we can right now.
Yeah, you know him.
I'll shut
the
him
boss,
off after like 20
Richie's
minutes.
boss is showing up,
Jesus, but
You think he didn't talk shit?
man, talk about a card. Like I said, it was the first one I've been to in a while.
Yeah.
And it was great, man. It was nice to see all the people again. Like Lars was laughing. Lars and Travis, they were doing the media, and Jeff. We had Jeff Clark, one of our not so new guys, but he does the interviews in the back that I kind of used to do. Now he does them, and they just labeled me as the celebrity guest.
Nice.
I was a celebrity guest, but I had everyone coming up to me. It was
Nice.
pretty
I bet.
cool. You
I
know what
bet.
I mean?
A lot of
Hey,
friends.
how you doing? You know,
Yeah.
it was fucking. I felt so at home.
You're
and
Mr.
So,
MMA. Come on.
love me or hate me, I'm
Hey.
I'm around.
Anyone
but-
talk shit to you right up in there when they come up to you?
Not one person talked. A couple of fighters
Nice.
not talking shit. Weren't happy with my with not my my picks on
Wow.
on Table Titans, but I'm not going to make everyone happy.
Comes with the territory.
And
The two fighters. You're going to pick one. The other one's going to be pissed.
yeah, and you know what I mean. I was playing around
Yeah.
a little bit too with Mikey.
Yeah, they put you on the
I was-
spot.
I
You can
was-
tell.
I was
that
picking.
too.
I was picking against him so often and stuff like that. but,
I see.
I don't know.
Playing the
if they
game.
want to do it again, I don't know. It depends, but we had guys that from Full Contact Management on that card.
Yeah.
And I picked against a couple of them,
yeah.
and I was like, "What am I
Right,
supposed
right.
to do?" You know what I mean? It's like I fucking, of course he's gonna pick against it, and I picked against him, and they fucking,
you
one
didn't
ended
win.
in no contest, and the other one, Pat Casey ended up fucking,
Yeah, you won.
mauling Marty. So I was
yeah.
like, but I kind of knew, you know what I mean? I didn't think he was going to maul him like that quick. I thought it'd be a little, but wow. Pat Casey, first time in the
First time
Memorial
with Cage Titans
Hall
with
there,
us.
man, and he
wow.
makes a statement.
This guy from
shutting
Springfield.
down the crowd, bro.
Yeah, and he's one of those guys. We talked about it. Pat Casey's one of those guys who's been around. He's fought at like every promotion. CES, Premier, Ammo, Bellator, and he's never fought for us. Which it's like one of those things. Like, wow, it's kind of crazy. And then he finally makes his debut like that, which was cool to watch.
Nice. He's always a gentleman too.
Yeah, he's a
so
really good
polite.
guy.
Yeah, he is. He's a good dude. He had that bare knuckle boxing fight when he was doing
that
some
went
MMA.
viral.
and
was
Went
just gonna say
viral
that.
for the wrong reasons.
fucking awesome. I mean, come on.
Hilarious.
That's great. And even his couple of fights before, he won the first round. He knocked the guy down in the first round in that fight.
Yeah,
And then
he
he
looked
lost the
good.
fight. He needed this win. He lost the fight at CES, and he was winning
Right.
that fight until he got caught in a guillotine. So the guy's
Yes.
always in the fights, man.
Yeah.
Some of the fights that stood out to you, like anything surprise you in there?
Yeah,
from
I think-
Saturday night?
Yeah, like Pat definitely stood out to me. Big one for me was Mitch. And then Raz Hilton made a huge statement. Again, another guy, first timer at Cage Titans. I mean the pro card was just unbelievable. Just so many good finishes. It was so fun to watch, so fun to call.
Yeah, listening to your commentary on like some of the Instagram posts and stuff like that, it's like it was cool, man. It was exciting. Battles came out that first round. Looked like he was gonna finish Raz, but them punches, a lot of shit wasn't really
He was
hitting
missing,
or hitting the
yeah.
gloves and stuff like that. Gassed himself right out trying to finish that fight in second round. Raz comes out, man, and
Yep.
wow, who knew? I even think they took that fight down off the betting lines
Really?
because that's what a couple of guys that bet. Oh, that fight's not on there anymore. They bet. A couple of guys
on,
bet for
on
Bot.
BetMGM?
Yeah, I think because the odds might have been a little
Interesting.
screwed up,
Maybe they
but
couldn't figure
they
it
ended
out.
up being, kind of right on. I would
That's kind of
imagine.
crazy.
You would have thought Raz would be
Wow,
a
can
big
you imagine the
underdog.
live odds on that going into the second? That would
Someone
have been
would've
insane.
Oh my god!
For
yeah,
a second round
people
finish,
fucking-
it would have been like plus 1,500.
Oh my god!
Because I mean, that was a 10-8 round in the first.
Yeah,
So it's like, that's insane.
but we watching it and watching Raz go back to his corner and Battles go back
Yeah.
to his corner, we
You could
kind
see.
of knew like
I knew.
wow,
You could see.
it was. You can't. People at home they might not be paying
it's hard to
attention or
tell.
don't see. They see him on
Yeah.
the stool, but the cameras aren't just panned on him the whole minute.
Yeah.
But wow,
Yeah.
wow.
When you got a good look at Battles coming into that second round, you could just see he was exhausted. And Raz was just ready to go. And I think I said this in the commentary, but you kind of saw this look on Raz's face like, this is my opportunity to finish this fight. And he went out there and did it. I mean, it was nuts. It was... That's one of those second round comebacks. I mean, you don't see those very often,
No.
but that was insane.
Unexpected.
Yep.
As far as fan base, Raz's fans expected it.
Yeah.
I mean, but if you look, Battle's coming back from a long layoff. Even though he did have
Yeah, he had a couple fights.
Raz is fighting pretty.
Super consistent.
Yeah,
He's
and
always fighting.
he's fought everywhere. He's been pretty active,
Mm-hmm.
and my God, he watching some of Raz's past fights, he's the one that loses a little gas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This time, maybe he knew something we didn't.
Yeah, I think he's addressed that because his cardio was phenomenal in this one.
Yeah.
And we were just talking about this beforehand, and I was saying the cardio is the equalizer. Like,
Yeah.
if you get tired before I do, I'm gonna win. That's how it is.
Nikayla saying Jacobs and Lexus was underrated. Those guys set a crazy pace.
Oh, that was a good fight.
That was a great fight.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it was stand up. I expected Jacobs to maybe take him down, but I
Yeah.
talked to him after the after party, and he goes, we were talking about it, and his length was, we didn't want to get in close so quick, but that third round took him down and just kind of
Yeah.
took the fight over.
Yeah,
at
it was
that
one of
point.
those ones that could have gone either way too.
Yeah.
It was because Lexus looked good, man, and he was really doing a good job of just keeping Jacobs away with his jab, and he was switching his stances a lot and just making him guess. And it was some people were mad with the decision. I don't know. It's tough to say. I think it could have gone either way. I don't know.
I think there was I know Ascension. They
Yeah.
weren't happy with it,
Oh, yeah.
but I think because it was they scored every round for Jacobs. I think is that how it was scored?
I don't remember. I'd have
And
to
I
go
think
back
they
to
were
look.
like, it should have been he should
Was
have
it
got one
split?
Out.
I don't
What?
remember.
Was it split?
Maybe one of the fights was split. I don't remember which one though.
Oh, the Miguel fight. That was a
Yes,
split.
That was a split.
That was a split.
Yep.
And I know hearing in the back, Josh not went after, but he had some words with Steve Reeder.
Josh
Steve
wasn't-
Reeder about the scoring in that fight.
Yeah, Josh wasn't too happy about that. He came up to me and was like, "How do you score that for him?" And I was like, I don't know, man.
I wasn't the judge.
I didn't want to piss him off. So I
Yeah,
didn't say
no,
anything.
you don't want to piss Josh off. Man.
No, but I mean that was another fight. I mean, it was super close, and it's also what are these guys looking for? You know, the judging is so subjective sometimes. It's tough. I mean, because you look at it, Sergey definitely dominated the grappling. He had him in a lot of bad spots, but when Miguel shined, I mean, he put it on him. I mean, he was throwing and he was hurting him with those punches. So it's like if you go back to the damage, it's like it's hard to say. But then you got to look at like you also have to factor in like okay, Sergey had his back and was threatening the chokes. That's sub attempts. That's you got to count that too.
In there too.
Yeah.
But you know, when I was on Table Titans with the Hot Wing Hot Take, I was talking about Miguel. I picked Miguel in that fight.
Okay.
Just from his striking and stuff. I knew he was coming back from my injury and stuff. So I knew his striking was going to be there. But I was impressed with how he handled himself on the ground.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not because he was in trouble a couple of times. He got a lot of those things. Transitioned himself. He had some control on the ground too. So that was a major, great friggin' amateur title fight right there.
Yeah, that was insane.
That was
and then,
good stuff.
And the crowd was so into it too, that just makes it so much better.
Yeah.
When the crowd's going nuts for every little thing. It's amazing.
It was good
and
stuff.
Miguel coming off of that surgery and that surgery and the long layoff, so it kind of was that X factor of like how's he going to feel going back in. But he looked amazing. I thought, you know, he had the heart, he had the cardio, you know. I probably leaned towards Sergey, but could have gone either way. I wasn't mad at the split. I was like, yeah, I could see somebody scoring that for Miguel.
Yeah, it wasn't a.
Yeah.
You didn't go right through. You know what I mean? It was competitive.
For sure.
Very competitive. You could not stop in that fight because somebody was gonna. You know, they were looking to knock each other out in some of those series there. It was good stuff, man.
Yeah.
Mitch Raposo
Unbelievable.
comes in and says what he's gonna do, and he did it with highlight fashion.
Yeah.
What do you say about that kid? It's like, you know what I mean? First time back
That
at Cage
kid.
Titans since his stint with the UFC.
Unbelievable.
The kid is definitely on another level.
Definitely on another. He let me know too after
He
the
is.
fight.
And he's-
Wrestling match, huh, Steve? I'm like,
And he's
Yeah, right?
and he's the type of kid that he addresses his weaknesses too. Like he's addressed it, you know, before he was kind of known as like that wrestler that would take guys down, and now he's knocking guys dead. It's unbelievable. The way he sits into his punches now, that's 2 in a row now because he won the CES belt with the same combination.
That
throwing
guy
it over
still
him
hasn't woke up
I
from
don't
that
think so. But I mean, that was what I said this in the commentary, but that was one of those fights where it was such a big step up for Smythe, where it was kind of like for Mitch, it was almost, I think he almost felt slighted, as in like, oh, you think you're ready for me? And so what I said in the commentary was, well, if you're ready to play with the big boys, this is what we're going to do. And Mitch,
Showed him.
he showed him what it's like to play with the big boys.
wow. Well, you train with Mitch a
Oh, yeah.
little bit here. You know what I mean?
I've known Mitch since
yeah.
he was a kid, since before he started fighting. You know, when he was training, he was probably like 17, 18 when I first met him. And I've seen that kid evolve, and it's just unbelievable. I remember the first time rolling with him, like being like, this kid's 16, and he's like manhandling me. Like, I don't understand what's going on here. So I love watching Mitch fight. You know, not only because he's one of my good friends, but he's honestly just a good fighter to watch.
Yeah, he's good to watch. He's
that
great to
good.
watch.
Entertaining.
Yep. He moves around a
Fast,
lot. Yep.
and,
Exactly.
He's groomed well by the cartel and Tyson. He says all the right things. You know, he's not a big shit talker unless you're saying it to him, and then he'll let you know. He'll sleep you in there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, kind of a quiet kid, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
Good
definitely. He's like I
he's a
said,
good guy.
Handles
Talk to him.
business.
yeah. What do you think about his future? You think it'll, they'll pick him up for?
We'll
I know
see.
he's on
What
the
is he,
doorstep.
9-1 now or 8-1?
What was he, 7-1? He might be 8-1.
I think he's 8-1 now. But yeah, I mean, he's a guy who's been on the UFC radar for a while, so it only makes sense. I mean, are they gonna pick him up now? I don't know. It's tough to say. Like, that's 2 huge wins in a row for him, so he could make a very good case. He's got a very good manager, so who knows? We could see him on that Boston card.
That'd be nice. Could see a couple of guys
Hopefully.
on that Boston card.
Yeah.
Jacob Bone
Dude,
comes that
amazing.
pack comes second fight in a row, I think, for Cage Titans, and second huge prospect
Right.
that he
Knocking off.
Oh my God, man! That was that first round. Zach had him in that standing arm triangle.
Yeah, that was scary. He was
Yeah.
turning purple. Me
Yeah.
and Andy were like, dude, that's tight. Like, that was scary.
Wow.
He weathered it.
Yeah, and he came back and he just Zach was in the fight. Zach was still there up until the end, but you could just see the both of them let all the gas out, but
Yeah.
Jacob still had. He still had something in him right there, and I think that might be, I want to say, experience, or you know what I mean. It's just wow.
Yeah, and Jacob's one of those guys that you love to see him win because he's one of those guys. He's a fighter's fighter.
Grinder.
He really will fight anybody. You look at his record. I mean, he's got like a 50-50 record, but it's like you look at the names. Like, I remember the first time I saw him was when he fought Sean Soriano. And that was like when, Sean was getting ready to go back to the UFC. And, like I said, he's just one of those guys that you love to see win because he truly will fight anybody and he's willing to throw down. And in that fight, it kind of went down kind of how I suspected. D-Sab's the type of guy who he rushes guys and he's a great athlete. He's strong as hell. And he just moves forward. But technically, Jacob Bone was just 2 steps ahead of him. You know what I mean? So when they hit the ground and Jacob was on top, everything D-Sab did, Jacob was 2 steps ahead of him because he would, go for that. He has that, trademark darce from the underneath that he does that, his teammates talk about. Johnny was telling me about that. He does it all the time in the gym. And he was kept going for it, and every time Jacob was just ready for it.
Just
you take a black belt like
out,
that, it's just not going to work. So it's like the types of things that you get away with in the gym, it's not always going to work when you go against a guy who has that much experience and he's technically great.
Jacob Bone, 3 fights in a row he wins.
Yep.
Where do you think he goes from here? Like, I mean, there's talk. Of
There's
that.
some whispers going around.
Going for that, fighting for that title again.
Yeah.
But there's other offers on the table
Right.
for Jacob Bone. You know what I mean? He could fight other places,
Yep.
but that would be a great fight to run back with Giannetti if it comes out to that. You know what I mean? I know Joe wants that fight. So.
Yeah. And, and it was a competitive fight the first time around. Joe missed weight. If I'm not mistaken, didn't he kick him in the knee or something and he hurt his knee or something?
Well, I know Jacob went in there with his knee was a little compromised from training.
Yeah, because I remember he went down with an injury.
Yeah, I'm not
He didn't
sure
knock him out.
if he got hit there. I think it was maybe
Yeah.
when Joe was throwing some strikes at him, he might
Right.
have stepped wrong, and that's when he hit the ground and got finished by Joe. But they definitely do have some unfinished business.
Yeah.
Because that fight was very competitive.
Very competitive.
What was that? 3rd round? I think.
Third, yeah, it must have been the third round.
Third round.
Because
And
they
it
had
could
one.
have been
They went at it for a while.
Yeah, and it was very competitive. They were both beat up, bloodied
Yeah.
up.
So I'd love-
toughest fight Joe's had. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? In some time. So
Yeah, and I'd love to see them run it back. If that's what Jacob wants to do, he can. I mean, he's from New York. He's not from around here. So if he wants to fight somewhere else, he can.
yeah.
But yeah, that's a fun fight for him. I think there's other potentially fun fights around at Cage Titans too. But I guess it depends on what he wants to do. You probably know him better than me. Is he ever gonna go back down to 45?
No, I think he's going to stay at
done with that.
155.
Okay.
He don't need the cut.
Pretty
I mean, he
big
looks
guy.
great right now,
Yeah,
155.
and he's not
I
getting any
think
younger.
when he fought Siriano, was it
45,
Was it was
yeah.
145.
Yeah, yeah.
I talked to him about that fight, and I think it was bad for him.
Oh yeah.
Getting the one. He goes, he talked. I wasn't sure exactly what the subject was, but that was a bad fight for him at the
yeah.
time. So it could have been when he dropped down 145.
Cutting the weight,
but
yeah.
he's looking great at
Looks good at
155, and
55.
there's a lot of options out there for him. I mean, he's in Rochester, New York. You got CFFC out there around that area. He's fought for, I think he's fought for LFA a couple of times, Bellator.
Yeah.
So he's got 3 fights in a row. He's a veteran.
Make some money.
So yeah, exactly, making some money.
Yeah.
Cage Titans will always be there.
Yeah, exactly.
Last one. Mike Pelvier is watching, so I want to say one last fight before Mike. I'm gonna message him, see if he wants to call in before he takes the mic and we don't get shit in for words.
Yeah.
Andrew Valdina.
Oh, yes.
Andrew.
That was an interesting fight,
Valdina.
man.
What the fuck, man? What a friggin' fight, man.
That was nuts, man. And the thing is, the cut was bad. I remember Andy told me when he went in the cage and got a good look at William, he was like, that cut was bad. So I get it, but at the same time, that fight was so competitive and such a grind. I feel like we were robbed of a third round.
We were. We definitely were.
Who knows?
We needed to see that third round.
Who knows what was going to happen in that third round? Because that fight, that first round, William came out strong. Second round, Valdina dropped him. I mean, what a good fight, man.
Now, what was Will's lip split?
His lip was split, right here, like Robbie Lawler style. Yep.
So his face could actually peel off with a few more hits there. In your expertise and stuff, is that something that should stop a fight? Something like that. Probably.
Yeah, I mean, when I saw it, I didn't think so. But then, like I said, Andy got a good look at it, and he was like, it was bad.
Yeah.
So, I'll take his word for it.
Yeah, you don't want to. I mean, it was just going to split more.
Yeah. It wasn't like
more and more and more.
It wasn't like remember when Billy Goff got stopped with a cut? Yeah. That was bad. Yeah. That was like, dude, let him fight. He'll be fine. Because that was up on the brow. Yeah. It was like, yeah, it's kind of deep, but you'll be fine on the brow. They just get some stitches. So
Billy wanted to keep going.
Oh, dude, Billy's.
It was nice to see him. It was nice to see all these guys there. You know what I mean? Yeah. Some of the, Jay Perrin in the building.
Yep.
Jay Perrin makes a big announcement. He's coming back in July.
He's going to fight Lionel.
Yeah.
That's fun.
I posted a little, I had a little interview with him outside the cage.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Before he made the announcement.
Yep.
Mike had told me about the fight, a little whiles back, but. Talking to Jay, he's excited to come back. And I posted a little part of the interview, and Cage Titans shared it on their Instagram. Joe Penafield's all over it already.
Oh, of course he is. Of course he is.
That fight's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
Just, Jay's going to fight Lionel. I think they're fighting at a heavier weight.
They're going to fight at 45 or 40? I think it's 45.
All right.
If I'm not mistaken.
And I think it's because Jay wants to enjoy himself a little bit.
Yeah. And he hasn't fought in a while, so. Yeah. And Boogs is a big guy, so I'm sure Boogs was happy to fight at 45.
I know there was some words exchanged in a couple of fights, previous. I think when Jay was doing the commentary.
Yes.
When you weren't.
I was telling Mike, I'm so glad. I don't know who caught it, but somebody caught that moment, and it was such a good moment because he had knocked out somebody. I forget who, but Lionel came over. It was me, Jay, and Andy. Lionel came right over to Jay and was like, when you're done with the UFC, you come fight me. And I was like, dude, and now it's happening. Nice. So I'm so glad they caught that clip.
All right, so Mike Polvier is going to call in for 5 minutes, which is probably like 50.
Yeah, right, 5 minutes.
So after that, we'll get back to this. We'll go on to Cage Titans Instagram, check out some of that fight footage and shit. Yeah. So it works out well. So let me call Mike right now. Let's see. Maybe get some beans off him.
Are we getting video or just the audio?
No, he should come in video.
Oh, nice.
What's up, Michael?
Does he got clothes on?
What's going on, guys?
How are you, handsome?
Oh, man, I'm doing all right. Just still recovering, as you can hear in my voice.
Hey, my man, don't you usually go on vacation after the event? You shut your phone off and no one can get a hold of you? What's going on? How'd I get in touch?
He looks like he's a vacation.
I actually turned my phone on yesterday. And I caught up on a couple messages, so he kind of caught my eye real quick. You got lucky, Steve.
I know. I get lucky with you a lot, Mike. I appreciate the time. But, Mike, man, great card Saturday night, bro. Exciting. My first time back in, a few cards, man, and it looks better than ever, and the fights were fabulous, man. Rating overall on the night for you, man. How'd you feel about it?
Man, overall, I think it was a pretty eventful night. There was some amazing fights. A lot of fights that could have went either way going into the fights, and we really had no clue who was going to pull out on top. And it was the fights just really delivered. I mean, top to bottom. We talk about Cage Titans 58. The top two fights were the best. It's like, how do you top Mo versus Barrett, and then we come out with a topper in Duma versus Penafiel, and it was like, those are the two, could have been arguably the two best fights ever in Cage Titans history. How do you top that? I think this card was more the top to bottom. Like, almost every fight was a fight where you were scratching your head saying, who's going to win this fight? Which way could it go going into it? And then, some of those fights played out that way, and then others surprised us with, big finishes. And so, yeah, man, I thought overall it was definitely a top card for us.
Added a couple of more things as far as crowd. You had Maddie in the crowd doing some crowd interviews, bro. That was amazing. What I told Richie when before you came on was, I thought she was doing commentary too. So I thought she was running around the building, jumping in the crowd, coming back. But you actually had Hillary Rose doing commentary with these guys.
Yeah, so I went to, for a few years now, I've been talking about, getting, the only thing we could really add is, some crowd interaction to our show, like crowd shots, kiss cams, dance-offs, and stuff crazy like that to kind of get fans more involved. And I went to the last Bruins home game this season, and every time there was a whistle or a break in the action, they were doing some sort of contest, trivia, just giving away signed sticks and shirts. And I wanted to give it a shot this time. I think, maybe it's something we got to tighten up a little bit. It's a little difficult to do in between rounds, but maybe in between fights. But then there's just it's definitely something that was a huge hit. The beer chug was a huge, a cool thing. And, there's definitely some good moments. We got to figure out and tweak a little bit more how to integrate it into the show. But I think overall that was kind of where it came from. It's you go to events and, they're bringing fans into the cage and shooting half court shots at Celtics games and, just kind of getting a little bit more fan friendly. That was the idea behind it.
Maybe you should get one of those punch bags over there and, put one of those in the corner. Friggin' start hitting on that.
Who gets the high score?
That'd be fun.
Hey, maybe we'll have Richie at intermission grapple a couple fans. You can tap out Richie to get a
that'd be probably kind of cool. Yeah. Bring in fan interaction like that. Anyone want to grapple Richie?
God.
A couple other pros come out.
What do you think, Richie?
No, I think you should do it. You grapple someone random, and then they're gonna be like,
we're always trying to add stuff, and sometimes we have flawless execution. Sometimes, what I love about us is that, we're growing alongside. As you see fighters' careers progress and they're getting a little better every time, I think everybody who's part of Cage Titans we're trying to get a little better every time. So we're kind of on that same martial arts journey, though we might be on the other side of it and not fighting inside the cage. It's still a journey for us as we're trying to progress and get better and perfect our skills in bringing you the best show that we could possibly can.
Well, Mike, I don't want to keep you long. I know you got to have family time and they need you there and stuff, but you had betting for the first time in Massachusetts. Man, how excited were you? And how'd that work out? You talk to anyone, win money? How'd that, I haven't got any feedback from it, but people were very excited about it, betting on that. And, it's monumental for the area to have that happening.
Yeah, I mean, this was a big thing that Spectation brought to the table when they approached us on a deal. I worked with one of the heads at Flow Combat, and they broke off into Spectation. But the big thing was betting. And obviously in January, Massachusetts didn't have betting odds, legal. It wasn't legal yet. So we went through the process of setting odds, even though that they weren't live. And then March, it went live the week of our fight. And it was also March Madness. So, they said, listen, we're rolling out betting right now. We can't roll it out, try to figure out the kinks, and then also add something like a regional show. So we missed the boat there. And then leading up to this one, we weren't really sure. I got told, I think on Thursday, it was like, if the Celtics lose tonight, there's a chance that there'll be no betting in New England, so they're going to pick you up because it's going to be a perfect storm for you. If they win, then that means Game 6 is on the same night as your fight, so that might be a little more difficult. I think I got the call. I don't know. Richie was there maybe like 1:30 or so, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 12:30, somewhere around mid-afternoon. I get the call. We're live, and it was pretty cool. For me, it's just it spoke to the magnitude of the card that we had fights that were bettable and had some really solid lines on, and I think that you saw after the fact some of the lines, like just like most betting, like some they were right in line, and some the underdogs came out and paid off big. One person in the comments said they had a parlay that they hit pretty well. I will say though, as great as it did get shut down midway through the fight card. Essentially, they reached out to Spectation and just said, we really didn't anticipate the betting action that we were going to get. So we really didn't staff appropriately for something like this. So that was kind of another tip of the hat towards us. So I think overall it was great. And hopefully we can deliver a card at Cage Titan 60 that will be worthy of picking up again.
Excellent. Well, we'll leave off with that, Michael. Cage Titan 60. What's the date on that? I know it's July, and can you give some insight on that?
Yeah, July 22nd. And, we already announced Perrin versus Lionel Young. Mm-hmm. We already announced Ozzie Martin versus Brody McDougal for an amateur title. Joe Giannetti will be defending his title. We're still working on an opponent there, but he will be there. You guys can debate all day. I know Jacob Owen had a great performance. There's chatter about trying to put that together. I'm here to report. There's nothing to report there. When I say I turned my phone on today, maybe yesterday/today, that's just the truth. I have not offered anything else beyond that. So it would be it does make a ton of sense. Joe always promised him a rematch on weight. Bones rattled off huge wins. So I mean, it would make, if there was a time to rematch him, it would be now. But I'm not putting pressure on anybody. Like that, it is what it is. Once I really sit down and get to work, probably in the next few days, we'll see if we can put together. But that's what we're targeting for July 22nd. And that's kind of it for us right now.
Mike, as far as that date, when do you anticipate tickets going on sale? I would imagine you got to get some matchups out there, but everyone knows that Cage Titans is going to bring a bang card. So I don't think it matters who is actually on the card because we know it's going to be an elite group of fighters from New England and out on that card. But can you give us some insight on when tickets or when that ball will start rolling on that?
I think we're 8 weeks out / like 7.5. So I'll probably start matching after this weekend, which will be about week 7. I'll have all the names by week 6, matchups hopefully made by week 5, tickets probably right around there. So probably another 2 weeks. I mean, I could put tickets on sale now, but I like to have the poster in line, some fights in line, and that's always kind of our time frame that we like to do things.
Excellent. Anyone want to ask him anything before I let him go?
Well, let Richie talk about who he got. He's got a whole stable of guys he's going to be bringing to Cage Titan 60.
Oh, yeah, I'm working on it.
You mentioned one name to me, a good name.
Yeah, I did.
But yeah, you got a whole. That was odd. There wasn't one Triforce guy on this card, and usually there is.
So mad. But
yeah, usually they get a great presence.
At least they had the number one Triforce commentator in there.
Yeah. Richie, can you say anything?
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to get. So right now, I'm working on getting Matt Souza back, who was on the last card. Yeah. Will Portillo, who was on the last card.
Yeah.
And then
Richie
a couple
Santiago,
other I'm thinking of
any of that?
And then I don't know. Maybe I'll talk to Mike about that. And then hopefully I got to convince him, but I'm trying to get Sahib Jackson to finally come over to Cage Titans.
Yeah,
making his first fight at 3-0.
Well, that's some names right there. That's some matchmaking for Mike to go ahead with.
Yeah. And hopefully I have some more.
So there you go.
Hey, Mike, last question. Anything in the night surprise you? out of the night,
Good question.
fights or fights out of the cage,
Fights in the
fights in and out of the cage.
I will say this: Cage Titans. We've been in business for 13 years, and I'm a little distraught to say after 13 years we had our first arrest at an event, and I'm utterly disappointed that it was fighters. We're there to put on a show for these fans, and after 60 plus events we've done, we've never had an arrest, and that happened that night. We pride ourselves on being a fun, friendly, family type atmosphere, and there's no room for that. And the repercussions, like everybody in the moment doesn't want to think about it. They want to think about themselves in the moment, but it's just like it's bigger than the person. You might be a little mad or a little upset. It's just like, what happens if we get shut down and we never get to have another event at Memorial Hall? Like that is a memorial building, and those types of actions at any point in time, somebody just be like, you know what? This isn't the type of place if those things going to be happening in the crowd. We've taken a long time to build up our reputation as a great brand, and there's no place for that. And I don't take kindly to it, and it upsets me. So I'll just leave it at that. Fighters, especially like you want to do that stupid shit, go somewhere else. Go to another promotion. Go to another show. There's no time for that. So that's all I'll kind of say on the fight in the crowd. And it was sad that it had to happen. And luckily, I will say, Richie and Andy and the production crew, like, they didn't even miss a beat. Like, I remember, like, holding somebody back, and I'm looking over. I'm like, oh, great. They're going to stop what they're doing, stare over here. And they went on like it was nothing going on. And I got to tip my hat to the professionalism of our crew. And they responded. We responded. Shout out to Tony Lee, because I was walking to the production office. I had my laptop, a Monster, and a water, and I heard a small commotion, and I literally was like, "You hold this," and I ran over and got over there, and then like 20 minutes later, like, can I give this back to you now? So he held my laptop, and as Richie knows, that laptop is my life. So they took good care of it. Shout out to Tony Lee and his friend who watched it. But yeah, no time for that stuff. And it's sad because, things like this are happening in crowds. I know CES Boxing had a fight down in Woonsocket or something like that. There was one that happened out in Springfield. Like, these fans got to understand. In this case, it wasn't a fan for us, but like, listen, man, like, let that fight happen in the cage. Don't be doing that stupid shit outside the crowd. Like, and that's it.
All right, Mike, I'm going to let you go. We're going to look at your Instagram, check out some of the highlight reels from the show, talk a little bit about the fighters, the matchups. And, man, I appreciate your time as always, brother. You rest up, and we'll be talking.
Hey, shout out to you, Steve, for not getting killed.
Yes.
As well.
Hey, Mike, I know you got a couple of messages on Messenger about my demise and me being run over in the parking lot or something like that.
Your well-being.
Oh my
What were your
God.
picks? What did you end up going?
I think I went 500 on my picks. I'm not positive. But there was a couple in there, the battles, man. I think a lot of people lost money on that fight,
Yeah.
but I think I went 500 on him. But
All right, cool.
yeah, I was very surprised. People were betting on me if I was going to get whacked in the back of the head. But Mike, I think you put the word out in Cage Titans. No one touches Domenico.
You're a protected guy. You're a protected guy.
He's a made
We
man.
put the word out. We don't put any of that bullshit. And I gotta say that 2 out of the 3 people, when we said enough's enough, they stopped right away. And I said it, Richie. I don't know if it was Richie, but I said it at weigh-ins. Like, when enough's enough, enough is enough. And when people just keep escalating and pushing, that was the disappointing part, because the little skirmish between 2 guys would have just ended right then and there between the 2 guys.
Yeah.
Then it was the continuation. That's what pushed it over the top. But either way, we don't stand for that, Domenico. Listen, and we made everybody know. It's all in good fun. People have come at Mikey before. It's just like, listen, man, we're just trying to have fun and enjoy ourselves. And guess what? you motivated the hell out of the people that you picked against, and some of them were successful. And whether they will ever admit it or not, that little chip on their shoulder might have gave them that little extra edge inside the cage, and you played a part. So hey, we had some fun.
I'll do the next hot wing hot take if you'll have me on, bro.
There we go.
I'll prepare. I'll prepare for that one. But yeah. So last thing, Mike, I got to say, a lot of respect in there. People were coming up to me that haven't seen me in a little while, shaking my hand, glad to see me. I'm treated with nothing but respect in your organization, in the crowd. People might not like me here and there, but they never step out of bounds. They respect the organization and you, and keep it online. You know what I mean? It's just opinion. Yeah. It's just opinions. You know what I mean?
Just words.
Yeah, listen, exactly. I mean, and I tell that to every fan. I've preached that for Cage Signs for so many years. It's like, just as much as you're passionate about your guy that you're cheering for, somebody's on the other side just as passionate and cheering for their person. So, like, you can agree to disagree on who you're supporting and who you want to win, but you got to at least appreciate their same fanfare for their guy and then leave it at that. Like, that doesn't have to go any further. Actually, my nephew got in a little jarring match with during the Sergey and Miguel fight, and my sister-in-law's like, "Hey, my son just told me that he's getting into it with somebody in the crowd," and then I went over there like, we're just having some fun. Like, he was jarring at me because I was going for Miguel, and he was going after me because I was going for Sergey. But yeah, like, have fun with it. But no, that's what we're there. We're there. There's going to be a winner and there's going to be a loser. One of the teams are going to be a little upset, and that is what it is.
All right, Mike, man, I appreciate you calling in. We're going to check your Instagram. We're going to talk a little bit more about the card, and then we're going to get out of here, my man. So you have a great night, bro, and congratulations on another fantastic event, bro.
All right, man. Thank you so much, and thank you to everybody that's in there in the room, and shout out to my boy Richie over there.
Yeah.
All right, Mike, take care.
Come see him down at Main Street Sports DJing on the ones and twos.
All right, later, my man.
Later, Mike.
Later.
Cool beans.
Funny.
Yeah.
So who got arrested?
Wow, that was a long.
I don't want to talk about who got arrested.
That was a long 5 minutes.
Yeah, you know.
Well, like Steve said, and finally, 5 times.
Yeah, I keep them going.
Mike, we'll let you
I keep them going.
That's good. Keep him on the line, you know.
But all right. So I got Aaron Hughes on here, ready to redeem himself. He wants in the next card. You guys were there, right cage side. A terrible ending to a great fight, a fight that we were definitely looking forward to. Shit happens in there, man. You know what I mean?
Accidents happen, and he was throwing the elbows. He was in the heat of the moment. I mean, he was looking for the finish, obviously, because he was. I mean, I was right there. He was swinging those elbows, and Hicks and Bo, turned into it, and next thing you know, that's what happened. So, I mean, there's not much you can say other than run it back.
Run it back.
Just run it back.
Do it.
It is what it is.
Yep.
Listen, I love both those kids, and when I had to pick against one of them, I was almost tempted to say it's gonna end in a tie. I was all these fights they're gonna end in ties.
Right.
I didn't want it to end that way. I wanted them to both win. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it just sucks. Run it back. In my eyes, you got to run it back.
And it was shaping up to be a really good fight too. That's the thing. That's what sucks. It was gonna be a good fight. We all know that. So.
Yeah. Well, we gotta. What do you say? About 8 weeks or so.
Yep.
In about 2 weeks,
July
3 weeks
22nd.
while he's matching. Things die down.
Right.
And people forget things. You know what I mean? People forget. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's got to recover. Mike's got to recover before he starts matching again.
Yeah. And it could be, it could be a great lead up to the matchup again. You know what I mean? So
for sure.
All right, let me look at some of their Instagram here. We'll go from Miguel. All right, we'll just check out some shit here. And I'll just go backwards.
Is that Miguel? Oh my God.
Yeah, that's Sergey Miguel.
This is the thing. Every time Sergey lost control of Miguel, Miguel was all over him. He was just swinging. The fight was nuts. Yeah, look at this control. He had him in some bad spots, man. Couldn't finish.
Oh, that was the end of the fight, right? Yeah.
Yeah, they swung it out.
All the way to the end. That's a new ring girl on the right.
That's the Brittany H.
She was nice.
Another Brittany.
Oh, all the interviews here. They got it all working in the back, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There with them.
Pat Casey,
He's
always a gentleman.
He's looking jacked, too.
Yeah, he's always. Oh, the Valdina with Will Smith.
Yeah, look at that. When he clipped it with that right hook.
Both those guys I like watching.
That crowd was deafening when this stuff was happening.
And this was in the second round. Oh man, like just imagine if we went into the third.
Yep.
Nick Halo, Polvier's 5 minutes is 20 minutes. Yeah, you're right on with that. And then that was in the second round, right? Battles came out and caught him with that uppercut.
Yeah.
And that was like the only punch he could get off from there.
That guy's so tall.
And then Raz just took over here. Yeah, look at this. I mean, just
Battles couldn't even keep his hands up.
Yeah, once he stuffed that takedown, that was huge, man. Oh man, just such long arms.
Mm-hmm.
Look at this. Oh my god. Sahib told me he counted 34 punches. I don't know if that's true.
In that series right there?
In the finish, yeah.
And a lot of them were square. His hands were down. He was getting tagged.
Yeah. I mean, he was just teeing
Just
off.
doing it.
he's
Yeah,
like-
just standing forward and fucking.
Jesus.
Wow. What a finish.
Some crowd.
Man, some fans.
Is Mike giving away?
No, he's just saying.
And new. They do such a great job, Cage Titans, on everything as far as.
How much taller he is than
I
everyone.
wish I had Raz's full name so I could say it for you guys. Andy said it, and it was insane.
Oh, it was like a paragraph long.
It was like a paragraph long, yeah.
Andy doing his
Yeah, his final.
up from the
intro.
dead.
He crazy. Cut his hair off.
Does he call that anything?
I don't know.
Is
Is
there
there a
a-
name for it, but it's definitely his thing.
It's unique.
I like the lights too. Phil had the lights on.
Yeah,
it,
that
too.
was nice.
That turned it up.
Look at that. Andy's a special dude.
Battle. I mean, look at the size of that guy.
It was he was monstrous.
I remember when Battles was in high school. We were in high school around the same time, and he looked like that but shredded at 215, and he was like 16 years old. Was that back, Casey? Yeah.
Yeah. Any you got any they were complaining it was early stoppage or whatever, but he was
The
not
problem is I mean he was just stuck.
yeah.
He wasn't getting out, so it's like, yeah, those punches weren't devastating, but if you're stuck and you're taking punches, like the ref has a job to do. Oh,
And-
I almost forgot about Jack Kong.
Yeah, I forgot about that right there.
Oh, I'll play that back again.
All right, let me go. Hold on.
I mean, look at this combination, and he came out. He was throwing
What do you-
power right off the rip. That kid's a problem.
He is a problem. 170-pound friggin' beast.
Yeah, and I heard from so he had been I heard from Tyler, some inside baseball from Tyler, that he was working with JoJo, and he's really, what Tyler said about Jack was that he's really like very willing to learn and get things right, like a real student, which is great.
We're gonna watch this a
Here's
couple of
Mitch.
times.
Mitch is probably my VIP of the night.
Oof. Yep.
Now,
Let me see that
wow.
punch again.
Yeah, we're
Watch
gonna
this
we're gonna
punch.
watch this again.
It's just beautiful. He sits down and then he kind of jumps over it. Look at that.
Ugh.
That's the same exact punch he hit on that kid to win the title.
Yeah, it's a wild hook.
Now Tyler, he set the fight in July. Do they when a fight like that, do you get
He's
suspended?
gonna get suspended. I don't know how long, but yeah, he's definitely gonna hit a suspension. So anytime you get KO or TKO, they give you an automatic suspension. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but
I don't know if them guys ever kind of made up or whatever, but it didn't kind of look like they're
Did
they're
they have,
pretty much friends.
Okay, yeah.
They were, yeah. The fan beer chug contest, that was fucking awesome.
That was a hit. The people went nuts for that.
I'd win that one.
You'd win.
crush
You
that one.
win the
That was-
bong
that was-
hit
Hold on,
fucking
hold on,
contest.
Play that again.
I get the
It'll
belt.
play again.
That kid hit that quick.
Yeah, he went right through that.
Yeah, I might not beat that guy.
That's what I'm saying.
Did Cage
That's the
Titans
champ right
supply-
there. We
did-
gotta give him a title.
Did the Cage Titans supply the beer?
I think so. We gotta bring this kid back because he's the champ.
Oh,
He
yeah,
definitely
yeah,
is.
That's not my
Look at
specialty,
that.
actually.
Oh
Yeah,
my
no,
God.
I'd barf probably.
Yeah,
right over the fucking.
That was probably
balcony.
like his 8th beer too.
Yeah,
on the
exactly.
fucking day.
We gotta bring him back
Mhm.
so he can defend his title.
Man, a lot of this, Nick Haler, shout out to you, brother, for a lot of your production work in here,
Yeah.
getting them in cage shots and just running the people around to get this stuff going. You know what I mean?
He does all this with a phone, by the way. I don't know how he makes it look so good.
Probably 4K on a phone.
Sick. Oh, Joe Poirier looked good. Dominant win. That was the first pro fight of the night.
He's a problem too.
Oh yeah, I mean, just look at him. Like, I mean, that kid at 125, it's insane. He's taller than me. Yeah, the pro card was just unbelievable.
Oh, there's Jay and Boogs.
Yep.
That was fun.
Of course. Jay dressed to the nines.
Yeah, he lost a button in that scuffle.
Yes, I did see that.
It's the only thing that happened to him in that whole thing. Lost his fucking button. We were busting his balls at the after party about it.
That was a good fight.
Yeah.
Martin and Brody McDougal fighting for the title in July.
That wasn't the matchup that was set before Brody hurt himself, right? He was set to fight for the title earlier, and then he had a hand injury, I think, and then he had to jump out.
No, I think he's supposed to fight someone else.
Probably not, because I think that kid had a fight on that card where he had that huge knockout.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
I think you're right. Yeah, see, that's the clip I was talking about. He looked right at Joe and was like, when you get kicked out the UFC, you come fight me.
That's
I was like, "Ooh, that was
That's
ice cold,
fucking
ice
awesome.
cold."
So is this out of the?
Oh, can we talk about T-shirt guy?
Is this guy right
This
here?
was electric. So this kid came to Mike, right? He's just a fan.
Yeah.
He came to Mike and said, "Hey, you guys should do a T-shirt gun." And Mike was like, "All right, well, if you bring in a T-shirt gun, you can do it."
Yeah, he did.
He messages Mike a few days later and says, "It's $500, whatever." He's like, "If I buy it, I can do it, right?" And Mike said, "Absolutely," and he did it.
He bought the.
He
No,
bought the gun himself, so
Oh.
he could do it.
so he's gonna do it every card
I
now,
hope
probably,
so,
right?
because that was electric.
Those are fun, yeah.
The
And,
people went nuts for this kid.
yep.
It was so fun.
And that thing's shooting it up too on the top row and shit.
Yep.
Hey, that's. Oh yeah, is it? Well, we can't hear it, but
This fight was insane. Yeah, I mean, again, just every time Sergey let him go, Miguel just went all over him.
Oof.
Oh man.
That's a tough.
So I'd say that cardio's the equalizer,
Yeah.
man. Oh, Jennifer, man. He
Yeah.
had an interesting.
yeah, I mean, great game plan.
Yeah, just a
Great
complete
game plan.
360 of what he did before, because he came out brawling with David Burke.
Yeah.
Got knocked out, so he said, this time I'm just gonna beat this guy up on the ground.
Yeah, he had
Worked out perfectly for him.
he had a great game plan. So kudos to him. He beat fucking Colin Robinson, who was no joke. You know what I mean? As far as
And Robinson
know.
just had no answer to it.
yeah, he couldn't get out of that. But his Jacobs right here.
Yeah, Jacobs versus Lexus. This was a fun fight. Randy Costa making his return to Plymouth. Imagine that. Yeah, Jacobs looked good too. He's getting down in weight.
Well, I told him that after I said, dude, you looked ripped. I mean, you looked in great shape. Jay Kasky, this was a cool fight.
This was a fun fight. This
Yeah.
is a big win for Kasky, man. Because Joe Atola's no joke, man. That kid is tough. Yeah, and I think Kasky really showed off his wrestling in that fight. Too.
Yeah.
He,
I was talking to Jake after he's disappointed in his performance. I'm like,
Yeah.
you fucking got the win. Like,
yeah.
like, I mean, you're an amateur. Like, what do you expect? I mean,
Perfectionist.
Where are we? Oh, go back one. I almost forgot about this kid, Matt Martinez. This was a good fight.
Yeah.
man. These
was
guys-
this the first or second MMA fight?
And it was this kid's just high level, man. Both of these kids just like
That's the kid from Nostos.
yeah. I mean, they just look like pros out there. It was insane. Just so what's the word? So
Composed.
calm.
Yep.
Yeah,
Composed.
they weren't rushing at each other. They were picking their shots. And
Yeah, it was such a good fight. And that was Wellman, right? Wellman getting it done. Yeah, I remember this one.
we're almost done here, I think.
Oh, and John.
Oh, yeah.
How about Greg Jones pushing 50?
Jeez,
Getting in there with Johnny Cupcake.
that was
You kidding me?
nice.
Dude, Greg Jones is legit. shit, man.
Yeah.
I rolled with him. I went to.
He had some moments in that role there.
I went to Loco's new gym recently, and me and Greg rolled, and I was like, "Holy shit, man!"
There you guys are, looking fab in there.
Look at that.
You like commentating? You ever go to any kind of school for that?
Nope.
Just knowledge of fights and talking.
Just bugged Mike.
Yep.
And made him let me do it.
Nice.
And,
That's the way to do it.
It was
my way in.
it was fun watching.
Told him the story. You've heard this story.
What?
The story's pretty funny of how I ended up commentating.
What is it?
Oh yeah, the story.
Yeah, what's going on?
No, I thought we were still looking.
No,
Anyway.
we're all done. Man.
No, it's a funny story because like back in 2016, I thought it was funny because I had started. So Mike used to release the videos with no commentary, which was so boring.
Yep.
And so I kept bugging Mike. I was like, "You need commentators." He's like, "Yeah, we don't need it." And I was like, "Well, when you do it, I want to do it because I'm the one who keeps pointing it out to you." And so eventually, he was like, "Oh, they were gonna do commentators," but it was somebody else. He like
I think it was supposed to be Sean.
it was Gilday. That's
and
who it was.
Chris Motino.
Yes.
And then
what
I
ended
think
up
Chris
happening?
Someone ended up getting sick or something.
Gilday was sick, and then so Gilday messaged me and was like, he's like, "I'm sick, I can't do it." And then I was like, all right. And then Chris kind of just like backed out. So then I called up Andy because I knew Andy would be good at it because he's got a great voice for it. So I called up Andy and I said, "Come on down." I was like, "Hey, when are you getting to the hall?" And he was like, "Oh, I was gonna go out to eat first, get some drinks in me, and then come." And I'm like, "No, you got to get here at 4 because me and you are commentating." And he's like, "All right." And then that ever since we knocked it out of the park the first one, and then we've been doing it ever since.
And it needs a commentary, you know. Like,
Oh, you need it, dude. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's like I know some people will like. Well, in the past, would add the commentary after.
Yeah, they did that
with
for
the
a couple.
voiceover.
Well, like in the Ultimate Fighter, I don't know if it's still like this, but the old episodes they didn't have commentary and they didn't have a crowd.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
Yeah, so
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Do they have? Does the Ultimate
no,
Ultimate
I
Fighter
was
still
watching,
doesn't have
no,
commentary?
I was watching it yesterday. They don't.
I haven't
yeah.
watched last night, so don't
I
spoil
watched
it.
it
but-
last night.
Yeah.
You liked the show last night?
It was pretty good.
Yeah, I don't mind
It was
it.
interesting.
Yeah, I'll watch
I saw Rico, so
Yeah.
we got our guy in there.
I
so
knew he
that's
was going to
cool.
be on Connor's team because
Yeah.
I was telling
Saw a
people
picture.
I saw
It's,
a
oh,
blurred
really?
picture of him when Connor was training with Wonder Boy.
Gotcha.
When they were doing
okay.
some sparring during the show.
Yep.
You could see Rico in a blur back.
okay.
Oh, he's going to be on Connor's team.
Yeah,
he
he's-
ended up being on Connor's team.
Yeah, Connor's got the prospects, and Rico's Chandler has the vets. So it's like guys who have been to UFC are the vets and been released, and then it's the prospects are like guys who've like rather fought on Ultimate Fighter before, fought on Contender Series, and didn't get a contract.
And then the vet, UFC vet, last night had a 25-second friggin' KO.
I don't want to spoil it for Tommy, but yeah, it was.
Fuck,
it was a
man.
lot- it was-
Why? When you just saying don't
it
tell
was
me?
a lot less-
I
I'm
haven't
so
seen it.
sorry.
That's all
It
good.
was less than that. Just
Yeah.
just so you know.
It was.
It's not a
nuts.
big spoiler for me, but
And they picked Rico's already got his matchup, right?
Yeah, Rico is fighting Hunter Azure.
Now,
I
who's
don't know
that
if you
guy?
remember him. He was a guy who fought on the Contender Series. I think he was like 2-2 in the UFC. Very wrestling heavy. Tough guy, but they ended up. I think he lost 2 in a row, and then they cut him. So that's a tough fight, just because he's very wrestling heavy. So I don't know how Rico's going to deal with that because he's more of a striker, right? So
Yeah.
it's a tough fight for him. But
With your you're hearing the show and say, when do you think they're gonna fight? Is it maybe 2 more?
I don't know.
The third week or
if
something, maybe.
if there was a list of all the fights, and if they go by that list, I think it's not going to be till like episode 6, maybe. So, but I don't
so
know.
it's deep
But
in.
don't they double up on fights some episodes?
I think because they had
Towards
to
the end.
do the
Yeah.
intro and they had to do the picks this
Yeah,
week,
yeah,
so I
yeah.
think they probably will. But also they're gonna have to get more. They're gonna have more dialogue between the house and stuff that. So
Yeah, they got to
maybe
mix
there
that
w-
stuff in.
But I would think there's got to be a couple of
and
fights.
they got to give Connor plenty of screen time.
yeah.
You
Yeah.
know how that is.
he probably has to. That's probably
You
in the
think
contract.
you think he's actually gonna fight Chandler? You
Who,
think that
Connor?
fight's gonna happen? Or you think it's
He
gonna just
looked
fade
very
away?
swollen. I'll say that. He was definitely over 200 pounds.
I don't think he was in the pool yet when that was
No,
taping.
no way.
He is
Yeah, yeah.
now.
It was title
Dude,
pool,
he
yeah.
was over 200 pounds.
Yeah.
And when you saw like they showed Connor and Chandler like meet together and like shake hands, Connor looked like a flyweight next to him. I mean, not Connor, sorry. Chandler looked
Yeah.
like a flyweight next to Connor. He looked huge, and he looked swollen.
Yeah, they said that fight's probably going to, 175, 180?
I think they're fighting at
175?
70, yeah.
If it
Connor's
goes
gonna have
that,
to
I think
deflate.
it's... I don't know what's
He's gonna have to deflate. He's big, man. He's got to be over 200 pounds.
I personally don't think that fight's going to happen.
I don't either.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We'll see. I
don't want
guess.
to, jinx it or nothing.
No.
Because
Yeah.
but I don't think it's going to...
I feel like they schedule it when the show starts airing, right? When the coaches fight, they're already like, oh, they're gonna fight in whatever
At the end.
October or something. But I don't know.
They haven't yet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they haven't
they
announced
don't,
anything.
Yeah, they have their own main event kind of night
Yeah.
sometime.
Yeah, they have like the winner
It's
of the
going to
show.
be a
and
huge
then,
pay-per-view.
Oh, they
where-
got it. It had.
My God, Connor back.
Yeah, Connor can't fight
Maybe
on.
he'll just limp in, out of shape, and fight
Yeah,
for the hell of
who
it.
knows?
he'll just fail his fucking
been
USADA
2
test.
years.
You know?
$dollars.
It's been 2 years, so
He'll just fail on purpose, his test.
yeah,
Well,
maybe he
guys,
just doesn't care.
Yeah, we can cut out.
Time is it?
We can go-
Should we wrap it up?
Yeah, we're wrapping up. Richie, anything with you other than, I mean, Mike said, hey, you got some guy. Are you kind of like coaching a little bit? Taking
Yeah.
that kind of.
A little bit, yeah. I definitely work with the younger guys. You know, we got a ton of guys. We got a ton of Amis. I'm always working with everybody, and I'm in the gym all the time, so I'm still working all the time. And I'm kind of, you know, obviously I work with Cage Titans, so it only makes sense that I've kind of fallen into kind of a manager role where, you know, I'm matching these guys up, and you know, once I figure out who's fighting from the gym, I then talk it over with Mike and figure out who's fighting who. So, yeah, it's pretty cool.
Does Pete give you, like, he just lets you, and then you come to
Yeah,
him
I
with,
always-
hey, Pete, we
Yeah.
were talking about this with Mike.
I always look at it with Mike first,
Yeah.
and then we kind of decide where guys fall. And then I always double check with Pete and be like, hey, this guy for this guy, what do you think? And then Pete, Pete will fight anybody. So
Yeah.
He'll be like, yeah,
amateur
said it.
level. Yeah, he's like, all right, let's go.
yeah.
As far as yourself fighting, anything going on? You looking to get back in there sometime, or is the business booming? You're
Yeah,
like,
it's tough.
I'm making
Yeah.
some money
between
right now.
DJing and you know, all that. It's tough.
Commentating.
And commentating. But I want to fight in the summer, but it's tough, man. I'm trying to like talk to the other promotions out there, but we'll see. I might have to go talk to Mike and fight on that card instead.
Or
But
you'd
we'll
be,
see.
You'd be grappling some people out of the crowd or something.
Or I'd be, you know, doing intermission competitions.
I was gonna say have fight a podcaster day. You
yeah.
know?
Yeah, we can have
Have the
podcasters
podcasters
go
go
at
at
it.
it.
I'll
be
jump in
sick.
there.
Fuck
Fucking
yeah.
probably won't make it through the physical.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
this guy can't
Let me out of it.
Yeah.
Let me out of him in that sense. You know.
Oh yeah.
I'll fight fucking any podcaster. Jesus.
Dude, fucking,
Yeah.
what the fuck? Well,
Podcaster.
But yeah.
I don't know.
Either way, I do want to. I'm definitely gonna fight at least once this year. That's kind of my goal.
Excellent.
I'm kind of to a point now where I'm just kind of doing it for fun anyway.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I don't really care what happens. I just want to fight
Get in there
again.
and not, you know,
I'm definitely not
swing
done.
at
I know that. You know?
All right, cool.
People, that's where it gets annoying. People just like I haven't fought in a year, so people look at it like
he's
they
all
just
done, yeah.
assume like, oh, you're all done.
Yeah.
And I'm like, definitely not done.
Yeah,
But
I mean, Cupcakes. He's in and out of there.
Yeah.
Look at Sean Lally. He's comes back. You know, he takes a year and a half
exactly.
off.
So
comes
when the
back,
time's
has
right.
a great fight, and then he takes another year and a half off.
So when the time's right, I'll fight again for sure. But
Yeah,
hopefully
you
by
like
the end of the year.
you like the Bispings and the Paul Felders. You know, you commentate, you do that, and then
Yeah.
you jump in and do it, and then fucking
been
go back
doing-
to the desk.
Exactly.
Well, guys, great show, man.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking
Yeah.
great catching up again, my man.
Yeah, man. It's good to
good
be
stuff.
back.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Fucking come down anytime. We're
God
down here
damn.
Wednesday
I
night,
know.
Saturday night. I know
I'll
you're
just-
busy. I know you got to
I'll
do
hitch a
shit,
ride with
but
Tommy.
you know, anytime you want to come down on the Wednesday night, you know, maybe next card we can come down, break it down.
We
a
do a
little bit,
breakdown.
you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
something like that.
Card. But
The fight companions are fun too when we do them. In
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
well, yeah.
Sure.
I for now on, I'm going to be going to the Cage Titan shows. I missed it so much
Oh,
and
yeah.
being there Saturday night and just feeling the vibe there.
What
and,
other cards, you know?
And,
Yeah,
no, I'm
even-
definitely.
yeah.
I'm probably going to do the Combat
Even
FC
other cards, yeah.
fight
CES
companion
and
here
stuff.
and CES.
Yeah, Combat FC's coming up. Yeah, that'd
yeah.
be fun.
So yeah, we'll see. What
Yeah,
happens, but-
anytime I can come in, we could, you know, even if you wanted to like break down other cards.
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
I'm obviously Team Cage Titans, but
No, I understand.
I I go to all the other shows, Combat FC, CES. I go to those other shows. They're great. So I've obviously been fighting for CES forever. So
giving your opinions, and they'd be great ones. But
Combat FC's got a fun card coming up, man.
yeah, they do.
Yeah.
They do. Anything left with you, buddy? Anything you want to lean
chilling.
off with?
No, it was good. Good time in here. That was a great card last week. So fucking keep it going. Cage Titans kills it.
Excellent. Well, I'll be interested to see some.
You got to come to the next one.
Yeah,
comes down
let's do
with the this fight card coming up, the Triforce crew coming in.
Yep.
and
Yeah, hopefully.
We should have a Triforce
Future
versus
matchup.
everyone fucking Cage Titans event.
Yeah. Well, I was mad
You could do
because
that with loads
so
of times, too.
the card that I
That too.
missed, I had 8 guys on the card, and that was the one I couldn't go to. So I was so mad.
Was that Dion and shit?
It was. It
No,
was
Dion fought for C.
the other Dion Perry fought.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, I was talking
yeah,
about the other Dion, but
Yeah,
you're
we
right.
had like, I think no, we had 6 guys on the card, and then we had 2 guys at Combat Zone in Boston.
Oh, that's what.
So
John,
I
the
had-
John Duma. the
Yeah,
John Duma
so I
Yeah,
had
we were
8.
watching that,
I
yeah.
had 8 guys fight that week, and I couldn't go to any of them. I
Were
was
you at a
so-
wedding
I
or
was
something?
Yeah, I
Where-
went to
yeah.
a wedding in Mexico.
That shit happens,
So I was
man.
there for like 5 days or so. So I missed a bunch.
I'm sure you had a good time there.
Oh, took a couple years off my life. But,
I'm going to Cancun in a month.
Oh,
yeah, so I can't wait.
Cancun's
I ain't going
something,
anywhere.
man.
I'll go
But yeah,
First
all
time
right.
All right, we out of here.
Yes, sir.
With
Let's
that
get
said,
outta
people,
here.
thanks for tuning in. Great night. Thank you so much, Richie Santiago,
Yes, sir.
Tommy Shayhood.
Right.
We out of here. Check us out everywhere. That's all I got to say.
Peace.
We out.